Hi, and welcome to the Beyond the Falls podcast. Today I have Krista Majerus from First Covenant Church, and we're going to talk about the Living Nativity. It's we're getting close to that time of year, so
I know. Hard to believe.
I know, it's going so fast. 2024, where'd it go?
Yeah.
But I want to start by asking you, what is your connection to River Falls and our community?
Yeah, my family, we've lived here for 15 years now, and so we weren't from around here, but we moved to this area 15 years ago, and my husband and I and our 3 kids, and we love living here and just love the community. We are part of First Covenant Church in town here too, so yeah, happy to be here.
And we're lucky to have you, that's for
Thank you.
sure. I guess my first question is, what is the Living Nativity?
Yeah, well, the Living Nativity has a history with First Covenant Church and the community, but it's basically the story of the Nativity and the birth of Jesus with live actors, and it's set in our parking lot of First Covenant Church. It's a drive-through Nativity, so it's really nice that from the comfort and coziness of your car, you can have your coffee and hot cocoa and your heat blasting as you kind of drive through the scenes of the Nativity. So it's really, yeah, it's a fun event.
So, actors, you just mentioned. Okay, question.
Yeah.
Do you have to audition?
No, there are speaking roles and then there are non-speaking roles, and so it takes about 40 actors to put on the Nativity, because we have 7 different scenes that we go through, primarily from the book of Luke, following, all the way from Mary, all the way to the birth and the final manger scene too. So they don't have to audition, but my co-person that also helps me put this on too, we are always running around church asking people, and it's great because it's really something that families can do together, because we have kids out there too, kids, adults, grandparents, so yeah, it takes a lot of people.
All ages. So you mentioned 40 actors.
Yes.
I know that it's a big production, so how many other volunteers does it take to put the whole thing together?
Yeah, a lot. We've got, like I said, 7 different scenes, so we have different sets as well, backdrops, props, all of that piece. So we've got a whole crew of people that will help us like build new set scenes or repair things. We've got, tons of costumes then, because 40 people, all these different costumes, and they have to go over your winter jackets and like snow pants and stuff too. So we've got, folks that will help sew and wash and, make sure we've got all that ready to go. And then we have our whole crew that's inside, because we kind of have our outside crew and our inside crew that's, in the kitchen making hot cocoa and coffee and soup for once we're done to keep everybody warm. So I don't know if I have a number of volunteers in my head, but it's a lot. I'd say it probably pushes close to 80, I would bet, or more. And so it's nice because, if you don't want to put on a costume and be in a scene, there's ways that, you can help and support it too. And then I didn't mention, but maybe, you know this, Sarah, we've got live animals in these scenes as well.
Yes.
So like we've got folks from the surrounding farms that will give their animals for us to use. So we've got donkeys and llamas and sheep and goats, and it just, makes it really kind of come to life all the more. And it's great that people are willing to, help in that way. So, we've got a whole animal crew that their job is going out, getting those animals in the trailers, getting them to the church on the days and the times, and then, yeah.
Yeah, it's an undertaking. It's a lot of planning. So how long does this, when do you guys start organizing for like next year?
Yeah. Well, it's interesting because Sarah and I, we kind of start thinking about, stuff towards the end of summer, because we don't want to be doing work on our sets like when it's freezing cold out. So, we're
That
making
paint needs
sure
to dry.
that paint needs to dry, and we need to, be building different things, whether it's, fixing the manger or whatnot. Last year, we had some really interesting weather. During our first night last year. It was not cold, but it was super windy, like just really, really windy. So some of our sets blew over and were kind of damaged. And so, getting repairs done. So we start that, before it's freezing cold out now, making sure everything's in place. And then, now it's kind of full on.
Yeah.
We don't get a lot of time between Thanksgiving and Christmas this year.
No, it's fast.
Right. And so we really, our Living Nativity will happen the weekend after Thanksgiving. So that seems really tight to us. And we're like, okay, we really have to hit it hard and get, all that planning done. So.
Wow. Yeah. I'm going to backtrack. You said there's a little bit of history with the Living Nativity. Can you just elaborate a little bit more on that?
Yeah. The first year of the Living Nativity at First Cov was in 2010. So this will be our 14th year. Oh. And that's just really neat and special. And I think that that's the thing about being part of a community like this. That's not huge. It's, a smaller community and close knit folks. And I think it's become a tradition of River Falls. And a lot of people will say as they're driving through, this is the start of the Christmas season for our family. We always come, and we always drive through, and it helps us just get into the spirit of Christmas and a reminder of the story of Jesus' birth. And we see it as a way to bless our community. We're, First Covenant Church, we want to bless our community with putting on this production. So since 2010, and we keep track every year of how many cars come through and how many people come through and whatnot. And so, on a given night, we can see 200 to 300 cars come through. And so, during 2020, we made the decision to go to 2 nights because people needed ways to be able to do things, in 2020. And we thought, we're going to do it for 2 nights. And we've kind of stuck with it since then. So now we do 2 nights, which is great.
It is great. I'm glad you do, because I already know this year one of the nights we can't make it. So I'm glad you guys made that decision.
Yes. And, we... my family and I, we just went to the best Christmas pageant ever movie at the Falls Theater this weekend, right? Great movie. Love that the Falls has that here. And we watched it and I was like, this just really is getting me into the spirit of like getting that production ready and, getting kind of the word out that it's happening and inviting people to come too. So it's a great time of year.
It is. It's the most wonderful time of year, right?
I know.
So it is coming up. So can you just share with us the dates and times?
Yes. It is Saturday, December 7th. I believe I have that date right. And then Sunday, December 8th. And it is from 5 to 7 p.m. both days.
Okay.
Yep. And so it is a free event also.
Okay.
We always want to tell people, like, this is a free event. And it always will be. It's a gift to the community from our church that just, sharing that message that, Jesus is for everyone. And this is, the story of his birth. And so, pack up your car and drive on through. You can even double loop it. We've had people, they like come through once and they feel like, I missed this part, or I didn't quite hear that line from that scene, so I'm going to come through again. And so they'll come through more than once. It's fun.
Oh, I love it.
Yep.
Are there ways, do you guys take donations?
Well, we definitely don't turn away any donation for sure. And, any donation that we do receive, we use that to go right back into supporting the event and, maybe, building another set, adding more lighting, things like that. But for the most part, it's a free event.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Are there other ways that our community could support you guys?
Well, just like spread the word. I think it's like word of mouth for the most part. We try to advertise around town with some signs and, yard signs and things like that. You'll see us have a float in the River Dazzle parade.
I have seen that. It's a good reminder, that's for sure.
And it'll be great this year because as we're coming through on the parade, we can just, say like, it's next week. Usually it's like 2 weeks later, so it might be a little harder for people to keep that in mind. But, this year it's going to be the parade and then it's just that next week, weekend. So I think just sharing with people that
Yep.
I've gone to this. It's really fun. It's great. And yeah, it's really fun to do it, even if it's freezing cold. And we do really keep it going no matter what the weather is. And so there's been years it's been really cold, but it is really fun to be out there and to do one of the scenes or whatever too, just to see people come through and their faces light up, and little kids, as well. So yeah, we really enjoy it.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
Is there anything else that maybe you want to add that I didn't cover?
I don't think so. I think, I'm just glad that you had us come out here. We're trying to find new ways to make sure people know that, this is happening too. So I appreciate you and all the things you do for River Falls. Yeah.
Well, I was just going to say, you're such a blessing to us and the community. And
Thanks.
I just appreciate you taking time to come talk with me this morning.
No problem.
Thanks, Krista.
Yeah.
And thanks for joining us. And we'll see you on the next episode of Beyond the Falls.